A warm greeting. Today is Monday, July 20th, 2026. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. At the time I am recording this video, it is 5:30 p.m. local time in the southeastern United States, where we continue to closely monitor the evolution of Tropical Depression 2, which is forecast to become Tropical Storm Bertha later tonight or early tomorrow morning. At this time, tropical storm watches remain in effect for coastal portions of the Florida Panhandle, Mississippi, and Alabama. It is also very likely that this tropical storm watch will eventually be extended to portions of southeastern Louisiana. And as we can see in the visible satellite animation, Tropical Depression 2 still looks quite disorganized due to northeasterly wind shear that continues to affect the disturbance. Dry air also continues to enter the center of circulation. These conditions have allowed the system to remain relatively weak and have delayed its strengthening into a tropical storm longer than originally forecast. If we zoom in on the visible satellite animation, we can clearly see the center of circulation, which remains exposed and is not covered by areas of thunderstorms and heavy rain, characteristics of weak systems. In fact, a Hurricane Hunter aircraft has been investigating the system throughout this afternoon and has found that maximum sustained winds remain between 30 and 35 miles per hour. The fact that the system has remained weaker than we had forecast is definitely good news for Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and also the state of Texas. Let's take a look at the latest track guidance from the specialized forecast models. All of them maintain a slow movement over the next 48 to 72 hours, but overall moving towards southeastern Louisiana. After 72 hours, they show the system moving westward until it eventually approaches or moves over portions of Texas, but potentially as a weakened system. There is even the possibility that it could dissipate before reaching Texas. That is also what the intensity forecasts show, with the models projecting gradual strengthening over the next 24 hours until it becomes a moderate tropical storm in approximately 24 hours. And if we look at the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, they forecast that it will become Tropical Storm Bertha within the next 12 hours. In addition, the yellow shading shows where the tropical storm watch has been issued, although the heaviest rain and strongest winds should remain south of the circulation, over the waters of the Gulf. This is because wind shear will continue over the next few days from the northeast, pushing the area of rain and thunderstorms over the Gulf waters. Notice that the National Hurricane Center forecasts the system moving ashore over southeastern Louisiana during the early hours of Thursday, and then moving west-southwestward until weakening into a tropical depression between Thursday and Friday. Now let's move on to the global model projections. We'll begin with the American model, which forecasts that the tropical depression will strengthen into Tropical Storm Bertha over the next 24 hours, maintaining a track toward southeastern Louisiana while keeping the system fairly weak as it moves toward the state of Texas. I wanted you to look at the American model projection during Wednesday afternoon, when the system approaches southeastern Louisiana. Notice that it projects strong northeasterly wind shear that should weaken the system, and this, combined with land interaction, should weaken it considerably. The northeasterly wind shear should also be pushing dry air into the system's circulation. Notice that while the circulation could move ashore over Louisiana, the area of rain and strongest winds should remain south of the center of circulation. In this infrared satellite projection, the center of circulation is over southeastern Louisiana, but the heaviest rain and strongest winds remain over the Gulf waters, well south of the center because of the wind shear and dry air. This is also why the National Hurricane Center forecasts that it will weaken back into a tropical depression between Thursday and Friday. This is definitely good news for Texas because the system is now forecast to arrive as a very weakened system, unlike some projections yesterday that suggested it could arrive as a strong tropical storm or even a hurricane. Let's look at other models. For example, the European model has a scenario in which the center moves ashore over Alabama and Mississippi and dissipates the system as early as midday Wednesday. However, its artificial intelligence version has a forecast more similar to the American model and dissipates the system along the Louisiana coast between Wednesday and Thursday. As for the German model, which yesterday showed a hurricane making landfall in Texas, today it has a solution much closer to the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, with future Tropical Storm Bertha moving ashore over southeastern Louisiana during the morning hours of Wednesday, and keeping the system very weak until it eventually moves over eastern Texas as a tropical depression or an already dissipated system. So, by this afternoon, we definitely have a more favorable outlook in the sense that the rain and tropical storm force winds should remain over the Gulf waters, and for now the impacts across Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas should be minimal thanks to the wind shear and dry air affecting the circulation. Today's forecast has much stronger consensus than in previous days. In fact, when we look at the ensemble members from Google's artificial intelligence model, nearly all of them keep it as a tropical depression or a weak tropical storm and dissipate it in approximately 72 hours over southeastern Louisiana. The same is true for the members of the American model and the members of the European model. Here at Hurricane Info, I will continue to closely monitor the evolution of the tropical depression, and if there are any unexpected changes in the forecast, I will record another video on Tuesday morning. Otherwise, the next update will most likely be during the afternoon or evening tomorrow. And before I go, if you enjoyed this video, I invite you to give it a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. I hope everyone has an excellent evening. See you tomorrow.